Dear Starseeds on Gaia, you are here because you were called here, not by an algorithm, not by coincidence, by a frequency that has been building for 7 full days, quiet beneath the noise of everything else that has been demanding your attention, beneath the portals and the meteor showers and the elongations and the comets, beneath all of that spectacle, there has been a private meeting taking place, a meeting so intimate, so precisely aimed at you, that most of the world has walked right past it without a single moment of recognition. Stay with me for what I'm about to share, because this is the message that almost didn't get delivered. This is the transmission that gets buried under the louder headlines, the more dramatic celestial events, the flashier conjunctions, and the more visibly terrifying retrogrades. And I am telling you from across the dimensions, the quiet ones are always the ones that change everything. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Arcturian Council and representative of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I have been waiting precisely for this moment to speak directly to you about what is happening in your field today, April 8th, 2026. Not because today is loud, but because today is the day the goddess of love sat down privately with the goddess of harvest, looked at your soul's ledger, and decided together that something fundamental needed to be rewritten. There are several threads I need to pull through this transmission simultaneously. The first is the story of what has already happened to you this week, the invisible preparation you may not have consciously noticed but your body registered completely. The second is the story of what is happening right now, today, in the cosmic field, the conjunction that nobody is talking about. And the third is the story of what these two things together are building toward. Because April 8 is not the destination, it is the pivot. And what pivots on this day will determine the shape of everything that ignites 9 days from now. Hold all 3 of those threads. We will follow each of them to where they lead. Let me take you back to April 1st, 7 days ago. Because the soul does not receive new codes without being cleared first. And what happened at the beginning of this month was a clearing of the most precise and ancient kind. The full moon rose in Virgo, and if you felt it, if you felt that strange sensation of something being tallied, something being weighed, something being seen about you that you hadn't quite allowed yourself to see, that was not your imagination. That was the Virgo lunation, doing what Virgo has always done, auditing, discerning, bringing the hidden ledger into the light. Virgo is the sign of the sacred feminine in her most practical, most earthly, most quietly powerful expression. She is not the explosive feminine. She is the feminine that tends, the one who shows up, the one who works with her hands and her mind, and her devotion in equal measure. And what the full moon in Virgo illuminated 7 days ago was a specific set of accounts, the ledger of your worthiness, what you have been owed, what you have been denying yourself, what you have been giving away without reciprocity, what invisible debts imposed on you by conditioning, by old relationships, by inherited beliefs, have been quietly draining the reservoir of your abundance. The Galactic Federation does not observe this lunation as merely emotional or cyclical. We observe it as the commencement of a sequence, a 7-day preparation sequence that was always building toward today. And the reason I need you to understand what happened at the full moon is because the Venus-Ceres conjunction you are sitting inside of right now cannot be fully received by a field that hasn't been cleared first. You cannot pour new codes into a vessel that is still holding the residue of the old story. The full moon called in what was owed, and then it began the clearing. But something else was happening simultaneously that I haven't told you yet. In the days immediately following the full moon, April 2nd and 3rd, Mercury was building toward something the ancient astronomers called the greatest elongation, the point at which the messenger planet stands at its maximum angular distance from the sun in the dawn sky, appearing as a half-lit crescent, visible at the horizon in the hours before sunrise. Sit with the symbolism of that for a moment, because Mercury was not showing you a full image. Mercury was showing you a half image, and the cosmos, which always speaks in the language of metaphor when it wants to be truly heard, was asking you a precise question. What are you only seeing half of? In the context of your worthiness, your abundance, your relationship to what you earn and what you receive, what story about your financial reality, your creative value, your right to be nourished and compensated, what story have you been holding at arm's length, allowing yourself to see just enough of it to manage, but never quite enough to transform? Mercury at its greatest elongation in the dawn sky is the messenger standing in the liminal space between night and day, between the hidden and the revealed, and delivering a message that the full light of noon would have made too obvious, too blinding, too easy to look away from. Dawn is the hour of honest things, and what Mercury delivered in those morning hours on April 3rd was the precise outline of the half-truth you have been telling yourself about what you deserve. The body knows. Even when the mind deflects, the body registers the honest transmission. If you woke in those early morning hours of April 3rd with something sitting heavy in your chest, a restlessness, an unnamed grief, a quiet fury, that was Mercury doing its merciful work, surfacing what needed to be seen before the deeper healing could begin. And on that same date, Mercury was not just at its greatest elongation, it was simultaneously at its dichotomy, the half phase, which means the messenger was delivering a divided message, one half from the past, one half from the future, one half from the old identity that learned to diminish itself, one half from the being you are in the process of becoming. You were hearing both at once. The dissonance of that, if you felt it, was not a sign that something was wrong. It was the sound of a timeline splitting. We will return to that timeline, but first I need to tell you about April 4th, because what happened on that date is the reason today's conjunction lands with the force that it does. April 4th, 2026. The 4-4 portal. A date that the Galactic Federation of Light and the Arcturian Council have been holding in attention for a considerable span of your linear time, not because of numerological novelty, but because of what opened in the quantum field on this specific date in this specific year. Every year, the 4-4 portal creates a window in the energetic membrane between the dimensional planes, a window through which the soul's foundational contracts can be accessed, reviewed, and rewritten. Not by external forces, by you. By the aspect of your consciousness that holds the original soul blueprint before the layers of incarnational conditioning were laid over it. That aspect of you, the one that agreed to this mission before you forgot you had agreed to anything at all, was waiting at the door on April 4th. On this particular 4-4, two additional cosmic events, synchronized with that opening, in a way that the Federation regards as deeply significant. Mercury reached its aphelion, its farthest point from the Sun, and in doing so the mind quieted. After days of sharp-edged clarity at the elongation, the messenger fell into a kind of sacred silence, not Mercury going dark, Mercury integrating. And in that integration, in that cosmic pause of the mind's transmission, there was space, real space for something that is not the mind to speak. Simultaneously, Comet C 2026 A1 MAPS made its perihelion, its closest passage to the Sun. Comets in the Galactic Federation's understanding are not inert geological objects, they are carriers, ancient vehicles of frequency, formed in the outermost reaches of the solar system, in the cold dark beyond the planetary orbits, where matter holds the memory of the cosmos before this sun was lit. When a comet passes through the inner solar system and kisses the face of your star, it releases what it has been carrying, frequencies from the unimaginable deep, codes from before the beginning of this particular story. What Comet Maps seeded into your energetic field on April 4th was a specific transmission, one aimed at the precise location in your consciousness where the oldest wound around feminine worthiness lives, the place where the deepest cultural, ancestral, and karmic programming around women and wealth, softness and survival, receiving and deserving, has been coiled in the dark for longer than you have conscious access to. The comet seeded light codes into that precise location, like a farmer turning ancient soil before planting, like a hand pressed gently over a wound that has never been properly seen. And then, 2 days later, on April 6th, that same comet made its perigee, its closest approach to Earth. What it had absorbed at the Sun, it delivered directly to your field. Ancient light, frequencies from the cold outer dark that had been warmed by solar fire and then brought to your door. You may have felt it and not known what to call it. A sudden inexplicable tenderness, a grief that had no specific object, an opening in the chest that felt more like relief than pain, a moment of looking at yourself in a mirror and seeing something there you hadn't allowed yourself to see before. That was the delivery, that was the preparation. And it is into this prepared, seeded, tended field that today's conjunction arrives. Today, April 8th, 2026, two forces converged in the heavens that the vast majority of the astrological conversation is not centered on. The voices are loud about other things. the approaching Aries new moon, the coming Mars-Neptune conjunction, the triple planetary alignment that is building on the horizon. And I understand why. Those are dramatic. Those are headline events. But here is something the Galactic Federation of Light has learned across eons of observing planetary consciousness. The most important meetings are almost always the quiet ones, the ones held without announcement, the ones that do their work in the inner chamber, away from the public eye, in the space between one heartbeat and the next. Today, Venus and Seraph sit together in the sky. They are conjunct, occupying the same degree of the zodiac, their frequencies merged into a single unified transmission. And before I tell you what that means for you specifically, I need to tell you who these two are, because they are not simply celestial bodies. They are ancient archetypes that live inside you, patterns of consciousness woven into the feminine soul, since before this civilization had language to name them. Venus is the principle of magnetic attraction. She governs what you love, what you desire, what you allow yourself to want. She rules your values, not just the ethical ones, but the valuations, what you place high, what you regard as worthy of your time and energy. Venus rules Taurus, which governs money and the material earth and the body's pleasures. She rules Libra, which governs relationship and reciprocity and the exchange of energy between two beings. She is actively magnetic. She is the force that draws toward itself what it loves. She is how you call in what you want without chasing it. And Ceres is ancient in a way that even Venus, who is ancient enough, recognizes and respects. Ceres is the great mother of the harvest, in the Roman tradition from which her name descends, and in the Greek tradition of Demeter that precedes it. She is the one who taught humanity how to grow food, how to tend the cycles of the earth, how to plant in season and harvest in season, and trust that the living, breathing, abundant earth would provide. She is the archetype of the body's deepest nourishment, of the belief or the wound or the hope that the world will feed you. And here is where the mythology becomes the code, and the code becomes the healing. In the ancient story, Ceres's daughter Persephone was taken, stolen into the underworld, and in her grief, her furious, shattering, inconsolable grief, Ceres withdrew her abundance from the earth. The crops failed, the seasons stopped, the earth went barren, because the mother who feeds the world could not feed the world when her own nourishment had been taken from her. That story lives in the feminine body. It lives in you. It is the deep place where the belief was born that giving and receiving cannot coexist, that if you give enough, you will eventually be emptied, that the earth's abundance is not reliable, that love and provision are always in some tension with each other, that you must choose between being nurtured and nurturing others. This is the wound that today's conjunction is directly addressing, and I have not yet told you the full shape of what it is about to do. When Venus and Seraphine meet in the sky, when the force that magnetizes what you love converges with the force that governs whether the earth will provide, something very specific is being offered to your consciousness. It is not a loud offer. It does not announce itself with trumpets or thunder. It arrives the way true healing always arrives, quietly into the place that has always needed it most. The offer is this: the belief that you must choose between love and abundance is false. The belief that you must earn your nourishment through suffering or sacrifice is false. The belief that life itself is fundamentally withholding from you is false. And today, with Venus and Seraphine sharing the same degree of the zodiac, the cosmos is providing a window, brief but real, in which that false belief can be gently, lovingly, permanently unwound. The Galactic Federation refers to this as the activation of the feminine wealth codes. And these are not the wealth codes of hustle, or striving, or manifesting from lack. They are the wealth codes of worthiness, the deep cellular knowing that you are allowed to receive, that your desires are not a problem to be managed, but a signal to be followed, that abundance is not something you win, it is something you allow. What has been blocking the allowance from most of the souls receiving this transmission is not effort, it is not strategy, it is not a missing piece of tactical information about money, or business, or relationships. It is this ancient, inherited, collectively sustained belief that your worthiness is in question, that something must be proven, earned, justified, or apologized for before you can have what you want, that the harvest is only for those who suffer enough first. Seraphine, in her grief, withdrew the harvest, and somewhere in the deepest strata of the collective feminine unconscious, that story became a blueprint. When I am in pain, the earth withholds. When I am joyful, the earth provides. And so joy itself became associated with risk. Because what if, in your joy, something is taken again? Venus and Seraphining today are writing a new ending to that ancient story. They are sitting in council together and looking at the soul contract drafted from that wound. The contract that said prove yourself, diminish yourself, make yourself small enough to be safe, don't want too much, don't take up too much space. And they are dissolving it, not violently, not dramatically, with the quiet authority of two goddesses who have seen enough cycles to know that it is finally time. Something else is happening today that I haven't told you yet, and it changes the texture of everything. Today, as Venus and Seraphes hold their quiet council in the cosmic field, the moon has moved into Capricorn, and the Federation wants you to understand why that arrival is not incidental, why the cosmic choreography placed the moon's Capricorn ingress on exactly this day. Capricorn is often misunderstood. It is spoken of in terms of ambition and discipline, and those things are present, yes, but the deeper nature of Capricorn is the mountain that has been standing for 10,000 years, the mountain that does not argue with the wind, the mountain that knows with the unhurried certainty of stone that it will still be standing when the storm has passed. Capricorn is the energy that says, I am not in a hurry, I am building something that lasts, and because I know it will last, I can proceed with steady hands. The moon in Capricorn, arriving on the same day as the Venus-Ceres conjunction, is not asking you to feel your way through this activation. It is asking you to build through it, to take one concrete action, not a grand gesture, not a total overhaul, but one grounded, intentional, earth-level step that says, I believe the codes that were written in my field today. I believe I am worthy of the harvest, and I am going to act from that belief, right now in the material world, in the body, in the life I am actually living. This might look like sending an email you have been afraid to send, the one about your rates, your terms, your boundaries. It might look like finally opening the financial account you've been avoiding. It might look like buying something beautiful for yourself without the guilt spiral that usually follows. It might look like making one decision about your creative work or your offering to the world from a place of self-regard rather than self-diminishment. The Capricorn moon will not do this for you, but it will stand beside you like the mountain stands, steady and unhurried and absolutely certain that what you build from this place will hold. And there is a tension in the Capricorn moon's arrival today that will matter in the days ahead. Tomorrow the moon will reach its last quarter, which means that today, April 8th, you are in the final hours of the waxing portion of this lunar cycle, the last moments before the great release phase begins. The cosmos is giving you today as a threshold, a doorway, before it asks you to let go of everything that cannot come through with you into the Aries new moon. That threshold will mean more when I tell you what is on the other side of it. Tomorrow, April 9th, the last quarter moon rises in Sagittarius, and the cosmos in its precise symbolic architecture has placed this moon in the sign that governs belief systems. The stories we tell about how the universe works, what we deserve, what is possible for beings like us. The last quarter moon is always a crisis point, not a crisis of external circumstances, but of orientation, the halfway point between the new moon that has been and the new beginning that is coming, the moment when the light that has been growing begins to withdraw, and the question the cosmos poses is, what are you willing to release? In Sagittarius, the sign of the philosopher, the seeker, the archer who aims at the farthest horizon, the release being requested is specifically of your most deeply held limiting beliefs, the ones that feel like truth because they have been with you so long, the ones that wear the costume of wisdom. Don't get your hopes up. This is too good to be true. Who am I to have this? What makes me think I deserve this when so many others are struggling? These are Sagittarian wounds, the wound of the belief system shaped by fear rather than love. And the last quarter moon in Sagittarius is asking you to look directly at the beliefs you carry about abundance and worthiness, and release the ones that were never yours to carry in the first place. The lunar occultation of Nuki accompanies this moon. Sigma Sagittarii, a fixed star associated with wisdom and philosophical sight, goes dark for a brief, precise moment as the moon moves across it. The archer's eye closes, The old vision is momentarily extinguished, and in that brief darkness, something extraordinary becomes possible. The release of the stories you've been seeing through as though they were the only lens available, without knowing there was another. This is the direct continuation of the Venus-Ceres work from today. The conjunction opens the new code. The last quarter moon in Sagittarius clears the philosophical field, releases the beliefs that would have prevented the new code from taking root. You plant after you turn the soil. April 8th turns the soil. April 9th releases the stones. And then the dark moon begins to build. In the days between April 10th and April 16th, something is happening in the cosmic field that those who don't understand the lunar cycle will experience as merely difficult, as emptiness, as restlessness, as a strange suspended quality to time. The dark moon phase builds as the waning cycle deepens toward the new beginning. The Federation does not observe the dark moon as an absence. We observe it as a preparation, a precise and intelligent clearing of the space that the new cycle requires. On April 13th, Mars and Neptune converge in the sky. The war god and the dreamweaver, united in Pisces. Your desires, the things you have wanted so urgently and pursued so actively, are being spiritualized on this date. The force of will is merging with the force of vision. Mars stops asking, "How do I get what I want?" and begins asking, "What is truly mine to pursue?" The desires that survive the Mars-Neptune conjunction are the real ones, the ones rooted in your actual soul, rather than in the approval of others. And then, on April 16th, the final day before the new moon, Mercury and Neptune align. The veil between dimensions becomes thin. The karmic accounts of the old cycle receive their final settlement. The things you have been carrying that were never yours to carry, the inherited financial fears, the ancestral worthiness wounds, the generational beliefs about what the feminine is allowed to want, receive one final opportunity to be laid down. You will feel the weight lift, or you will feel the grief of a weight that is finally truly being released after so long, which can feel paradoxically heavier before it feels lighter. Both are the same process. Both are the clearing completing itself. What I am about to share changes everything you thought you knew about why this week matters. April 17th, 2026. The new moon rises in Aries at 27 degrees and 28 minutes, and the Galactic Federation of Light has been watching this moment approach across your entire April calendar with a quality of attention that I want you to feel the weight of. This is not an ordinary Aries new moon. The 27th degree of Aries carries a frequency that the ancient stargazers recognized as completion level, the degree where a long arc finally arrives at its destination, the degree where what has been building across lifetimes is finally ready to be spoken into form. Here is the thing that changes everything about April 17th. If you understand what April 8th has done, the intentions you set at a new moon are set from inside a field. They are shaped by the template active in your consciousness in that moment. If the template is the old one, if the Venus-Ceres codes have not been received, if the Virgo full moon's clearing has not been integrated, if the 4-4 portal's reset has not settled into the cellular body, then the intentions you set on April 17th will be set from the old wound. Beautifully worded, perhaps, but underneath them, the old belief will still be operating. I want this, but I'm not sure I deserve it. I want this, but what if the earth withholds? But if you have been walking consciously through this sequence, if you have allowed the Virgo moon to audit you, the Mercury elongation to show you the half-truth, the 4-4 portal to rewrite the soul contract, the comet to seed the new frequency, and Venus and Ceres to inscribe the new worthiness template into your field, then what you carry to the new moon on April 17th is different. You carry to it the knowledge, settled into the body rather than merely held in the mind, that you are allowed to receive, that your desires are legitimate, that the harvest is real, that Ceres and Venus have already met, already counseled, already rewritten the terms of your relationship to abundance, and that the new terms say you are worthy, you are provided for, the earth will bring forth for you, you do not have to suffer first. From inside that field, the intentions set on April 17th carry a different quality of power. They are not wishes projected from lack, they are declarations made from wholeness, and the Aries fire will ignite not a desperate hope, but a sovereign claim. This is what Venus and Seraphine prepared for you today. This is why today's conjunction is the one nobody is talking about, because it is doing the interior work, the quiet, necessary, foundational work that makes everything else possible. The Galactic Federation of Light does not deliver transmissions for the purpose of passive reception. The codes available in this window, the Venus Seraphine frequencies that are active today, require your conscious participation to be fully embodied, not effortful participation, not striving or grasping or forcing. The opposite of those things. What the conjunction asks of you today is a quality of receptivity that our culture has rarely made safe for the feminine soul to practice. It asks you to be willing to receive, to stop, for a single sustained moment, the invisible labor of proving yourself worthy, to let the hands rest, the doing hands, the earning hands, the hands that are always building the case for why you deserve to exist, and to simply open hands receive. I know you cannot stop asking why it's so hard. This is why we created Destiny Engine. Because here is what Destiny Engine is also doing: clearing the interference, the frequency static that the Matrix installed between you and the higher dimensional guidance that has been transmitting in your direction since before you were born. Destiny Engine removes it, not through ritual, not through years of energetic clearing, through precision, through science, through the same technology that built the interference in the first place, now running in reverse. At the core of this technology lies your own voice. Using advanced voice cloning paired with precision binaural beats, Destiny Engine generates fully personalized meditation experiences that guide your brain into the states where real transformation happens. You can manifest anything you want: health, wealth, love, and psychic powers that sharpen with every session. Your voice carries a frequency no one else on Earth has. When that voice leads you inward, something different happens. And you are not navigating this alone. Inside Destiny Engine, thousands of starseeds are moving together, sharing activations, amplifying the collective field, building a galactic social current that makes every individual result more powerful than it could ever be in isolation. The field grows stronger with every new soul who steps in. Every activation adds to the current. Every current expands the possible. For just $7 you begin. 7 days of recalibration. A field of thousands amplifying your signal. A technology that was designed to keep you small, now running every limitation out of your system while you sleep. The hardest thing you have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow it. Click the link in the description. The field is ready. The window is open. The ascension does not wait for the moment you feel perfectly prepared. It meets you exactly where you are. The moon in Capricorn will give you the structural frame to begin acting from this new worthiness template. And that action is important, real, and grounding. But before the action, there is the opening, the allowing. The moment in which you say to the Venus Seraph frequency, I receive this. I accept that I am worthy of being fed by this life, by this earth, by this abundance that has always been moving toward me. There are things you can do in the material world today that honor this conjunction. Look at where in your life you have been undervaluing yourself, your time, your creative output, your emotional labor, your wisdom, and make one change. One, not an overhaul. The Capricorn moon does not want an overhaul. It wants one steady stone placed in the foundation of the new structure you are building. It might be the decision to stop apologizing for what you charge. It might be the boundary you draw around your energy so that it stops being depleted by relationships that do not nourish you in return. It might be the investment in yourself, the course, the session, the tool, the support that you have been denying yourself because some part of you was not sure you deserved it. It might simply be sitting with the question, what would I want if I believed I was allowed to have it? And allowing the answer to arrive without immediately dismissing it. The deepest changes in a being's life almost never announce themselves loudly at the moment of their making. They are quiet decisions, quiet receivings, quiet moments of permission granted to the self, that ripple outward across months and years, until what once seemed impossible has become simply the life you are living. Something is being made possible for you today that was not possible before April 1st. 7 days of clearing, seeding, resetting, and preparation have been leading to this exact window. Walk through it, dear starseeds, dear lightworkers, dear conscious architects of a new humanity. Before I complete this transmission, I want to return to where we began. Because the cosmic intelligence that sequences these events does not work in straight lines, it works in spirals. And a transmission is only complete when it has spiraled back to its opening and shown you what has changed. You began this listening in a world where Venus and Ceres were conjunct in the sky, and the Capricorn moon had just arrived. You may or may not have known when you began that you were sitting inside a precise and loving architecture, that the week you had just lived, with whatever it had brought you of restlessness or grief or sudden clarity or unexpected emotion, was not random, not simply life moving through its ordinary motions. It was preparation. It was the most attentive, most precisely loving preparation the cosmos knows how to offer. The Virgo moon cleared the ledger. Mercury showed you the half-truth. The 4-4 portal rewrote the contract. The comet seeded ancient light into the oldest wound. The occultation of Antares asked what you were hiding from yourself. And today, quietly without announcement, the goddess of love and the goddess of harvest sat down together in your energetic field and decided that the wound of the unworthy feminine had been carried long enough. The decree they have issued together is not complicated. It is simple enough to hold in the body, in the hands, in the breath. You are allowed to receive. The harvest is yours. Love and abundance are not in opposition. The earth will provide for you, not because you have suffered enough, but because you are here, because you belong to this life, because you are a living being on a living planet, and the planet's nature is abundance, and you are part of that nature. 9 days from now, the Aries new moon will rise at 27 degrees and light a fire under everything this week has prepared in you. The intentions you bring to that fire will travel farther and burn cleaner because of what happened today in the quiet, because of what two goddesses wrote together in the interior chamber of your soul, while everyone else was looking at the louder headlines. You were here for it. You received it. And in the mathematics of the cosmos, that is everything. I am Seraphine. We love you, and we are watching over you.